O Rex Gentium, O King of all the nations, the only joy of every human heart, O Keystone of the mighty arch of man, come and save the creature you fashioned from the dust. The sixth of our O Antiphons, O Rex Gentium, O King of the nations, it reminds us a bit of that earlier antiphon, also with an R, O Radix Jesse, root of Jesse. It spoke then about how the nations would come seeking after this Messiah. A Messiah not only for the chosen people of Israel, the Jewish people. And now it's made clear, O Rex Gentium, this will be King of the nations. At the time of the prophet Isaiah, the question, of course, is the Messiah just for us? Is it for all the nations? Abraham was told his descendants will be more numerous than even the stars of the sky or the sands on the seashore. And now it's clear in this prophecy of Isaiah. Isaiah, in fact, tries to give us in chapter 9 some sense of who this king is going to be, and it's if the word king alone is not enough. Rex is just too simple. You know those phrases from Isaiah very well because they're set to music so magnificently in Handel's Messiah. Wonder Counselor, God Hero, Father Forever, Prince of Peace. And in Handel's Messiah it goes on with all these different names trying to capture who this is. The word king seems to be almost too narrow, too simple. But it's the word that we use, the King of the nations. We celebrate just before Advent, the feast of Christ the King. The King not just of one nation, not just the King of all nations, the King and Lord of the universe. Jesus is our King. Jesus is the one who is able to do all that needs to be done. Those prophecies of Isaiah, the valleys being filled in, the rough places being made smooth. Who can do all that needs to be done? Well, the King is the one who we await for. The King not just of Israel, but the King of the nations. The one of the house of David, the house of the King, is going to be a king much greater than David, who was the king of just one kingdom. So we await our King. We await our King, the one whom Isaiah tells us will be the wonderful counselor, the Father forever, the Prince of Peace. He's coming now very soon. Your King and my King, the King of all the nations, the King indeed of the entire universe. And that King is coming to be one of us. O Rex Gentium, O King of the nations, the only joy of every human heart, O Keystone of the mighty arch of man, come and save the creature you fashioned from the dust.